Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, JT here from Review Podcast, celebrating the big review of Cats that we did this past week. Now we're going to do a flashback on another crazy cat movie me and old T-Max did way back in 2016. Yeah, this is an old one. Talking that Kevin Spacey turns into a cat movie, 9 Lives. And it's awful. It's pretty fucking terrible. But, hey, if you want to torture yourself, and I know you have plenty of time on your hands, because hashtag quarantine, you can watch it on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure I saw it on there. So if you feel like just ruining yourself, check it out. And then listen to a review of 9 Lives. Or just listen to a review of 9 Lives, because it's not worth watching. Anyways, here it is. Our big review of 9 Lives, and if I saw correctly, for our show on Thursday with old King Kong Eric, I believe his movie won, so we'll be talking basketball this coming Thursday. So check that out. It's going to be a real hoot and holler. So tune in, and until then, tune into this 9 Lives, starting right now.
9 Lives.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Spacey flick, also featuring Jennifer Garner and the other Amell, not Steven, Robbie Amell.
Robbie Amell.
Is it Robbie? It's an Amell.
Yeah. And I saw like Rob Consuelo's in this one. I'm pretty sure is the dude that's like married to Kelly Ripa.
Ugh, who cares?
I
Is he
know.
like the
He's like
douchey guy?
He's the douche. Yeah, he's the douchey
Okay,
guy.
douchey guy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Also features if you watch Supergirl, the flashback version of Supergirl. She's
Okay.
in it as the daughter. If that helps anybody want to watch this at all.
Wait, Troy, hold on. I'm hearing a whole bunch of people going to get 9 Lives now
Well,
because
go kill
of
yourselves.
that. Oh man.
The whole movie. Well, Chelsea Danger also watched this with us,
Yeah.
begrudgingly.
Yeah.
It was like if we put her at knife point.
Yeah.
But she could have left at any time.
Yeah. I feel like I could have left at any time.
Me too. In fact, I thought about it and just thought about maybe watching or just doing anything else. But she said that, is that girl wearing a wig? Probably 1,000 times during this movie. The girl has a bad haircut. I'm going to put it out there right now.
It's awful.
It looks like a wig.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a hairpiece on the lady. I think
Yeah.
it's her real hair. Sorry, little girl.
Poor woman. That poor lady.
But we picked out this movie because it's got a terrible rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Even lower than Zoolander 2.
What is Zoolander 2 at?
Wasn't that at a 20 something? Like a 20?
I thought it was lower than that. I want to say it was one of the lowest rated things all year.
Jeez.
If you want to look it up, do that right now because I'm going to give what other critics said of 9 Lives.
Oh, good.
And that's what I took screenshots of.
Good.
So I'm just going to read this verbatim of what I took off of the internet here.
Okay.
9 Lives was panned by critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 11% based on 54 reviews with an average rating of a 2.8 out of 10, which I've said before.
Yeah.
The site's critical consensus reads, not meow, not ever. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 11 out of 100. Based on 15 critics, indicating overwhelming dislike. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ out of an A+ to F scale. So there you go. People don't know what they want.
What the fuck is going on?
It continues with IndieWire's David Ilrich gave the film a grade of a D, saying, Cats may have 9 lives, but you only get one, and it's too precious to waste on this drivel. You're
Which
better
we
off
did.
switching to a GIF of a cat whose face is stuck in a slice of bread. It will save you $20 in a few hours of your time.
To be honest, the best part of that movie was all of the cat videos they played at the beginning.
It is, because it's all the internet cat videos
Yes.
that are really funny.
Yeah.
And that's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. But a few hours of your time, this movie is 86 minutes long.
Yeah.
Get real, David Ehrlich.
No shit.
David Palmer of The Real Deal gave the film a 3 out of 10 rating. The only reason this comedy won't derail Kevin Spacey's career is no one will ever watch this outside of a military interrogation room. Oh, shit. It continues with Rolling Stone's Peter Travers gave the film a 0 out of 4 stars and wrote, at 87 torturous, laugh-free minutes, the film could change the most avid cat fancier into a kitty hater. So, yeah, not great.
Wonder who wrote that joke for him. The writers at 9 Lives.
Take that, Peter Travers, you idiot. This isn't necessarily a rating, but I took a screenshot of it because it is so terrible.
Okay.
As Screen Rant's notes, the film's marketing team even used fake cutesy critics quotes in its materials for the marketing campaign and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what they have. The Catfington Post, parentheses, totally possum. Vanity Fair said it was perfection. Meows Week said it was hysterical. Yes, the film's marketing department has inserted fake critical praise in which both the quotes themselves and the names of the publications are not only fictitious, but they're all painful cat puns. It could have worse. The ads could have gotten fake cat names to actual critics like Meow Scott of the New York Times or Ty Purr of the Boston Globe. So yeah, even their marketing campaign was shit.
Yeah. No, honestly, this movie needed more cat puns. I feel like there was barely any cat puns.
It had a lot of cat puns, JT. I have that in my notes that there were too many puns in this movie.
Man. I don't remember.
And that was only what I watched because I heard a lot. And they're not just like light skip over them little cat. They're like make sure you heard them puns. So maybe that's why they stick out a little bit more. Maybe there's only 4 puns. I don't know. I had a hard time watching this movie because this movie is garbage.
It's real bad.
But whatever they did do was blatant. Make sure you heard it, and to make sure a 4-year-old thought it was funny.
There's everything in this movie is done to the most blatant extent.
Yes. Even the coloring of this movie is offensive. This movie just straight looks awful.
Yeah.
You can tell by the second one that this movie is going to be dog shit. Cat shit, if you will. If I could continue with the puns.
By all means.
But it looks cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Like, I would compare it to, like, a kid show on a live-action kid show on, like, the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
That's, like, the color scheme and the way it looks.
Yeah.
It is hurtful to the eye to look at this movie. And painful to listen to.
This movie might have given us cancer.
Maybe. I could have a weird tumor growing in me right now. If I do have a little bit of production info for this movie.
Oh, go by all means.
All
go
right,
ahead.
I will continue on with this. It had a budget of $30 million. So
that already seems way steeper than it should.
Yeah, it's quite low compared to certain movies that come out.
Yeah.
But not Deadpool 1, considered to have a low budget.
Yeah.
Still more than $30 million.
I bet $25 million of that is Kevin Spacey's money.
And you know what? I searched the entire movie to find what Kevin Spacey got paid for this movie. Could not find it.
He had to have killed somebody.
I don't know. I want to know what he made for this movie because
Yeah.
it has to be a chunk of this budget.
Yeah.
At least a third of it, you would think, right?
Yeah.
He's a huge name.
It makes no sense that Kevin Spacey's in this.
I'll tell you why he is in this in just a minute.
Oh,
after I
God.
finish up the numbers.
I want to hear it so bad.
The movie made almost $20 million domestically, $19.7 million.
Okay.
And did come out ahead, if you don't include marketing,
Yeah.
at $44.2 million worldwide.
I was going to say, what, did make $1 billion in Japan
Did
because cats?
not. It made slightly double what it made domestically worldwide, which
So
is not
technically
good.
this is a success.
Technically, it made its money back
Okay.
by only $14 million.
Mm.
So a success would be in quotes
Yeah.
because marketing, they say to roughly double the double the production for marketing.
Yeah.
But I can't see them
I don't
spending
remember- yeah.
$30 million on marketing
Yeah.
on this movie.
All I really saw for this in terms of marketing was I saw the trailer when it came out, and I was like, this has got to be a fucking joke.
a bomb.
Like, it looks so... Like, Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
in a movie for kids about a talking cat.
Yeah, and for being for kids, there's some dark shit that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
More on that as
yeah.
as this continues.
Yeah.
But so, you know what? Even if they spent half of the $30 million on marketing, so $15 million. That sounds like a lot, but I don't know how all marketing works and throwing all that at what costs what.
Yeah.
But they had to pay for TV spots, trailers, something to know that the movie's out there. And
Yeah.
even if that's true, then the $44.2 million doesn't cover that expense.
No.
So they'd be in the red.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're arguing this. The movie's shit.
It's awful.
It shouldn't have made any money.
It shouldn't have made a penny.
The reason Kevin Spacey, I read, made this movie
I want to hear this so bad.
is because he only had to be on set for maximum of 3 weeks.
But he does so much voice stuff in this.
Yes. And most of that stuff, you'll notice, was dog shit. His
my
voiceover work is awful.
It's terrible.
It's like he did one read through and he was like, that's it. Because Robbie Amell, who is his co-star in this, said on some press tour that Kevin Spacey loves ping pong, and during the filming of this would play ping pong 5 to 10 times a day. And so this was a vacation for Kevin Spacey to be on set for a maximum time of maybe 3 weeks, to sit in a voiceover booth for maybe 5 hours a day,
Maybe.
and then play ping pong for the rest of the production.
And get paid for it.
And get paid for it
Jesus Christ.
for an undetermined amount. Like, I can't find it anywhere.
This voiceover work is lazy as shit. It's like he asked, they're like, they're trying to determine what his lines should be, and it's like, what's going on in the scene? Well, she's gonna get up and walk over to the counter. I'll just say that.
Yeah. It is awful. And it is...
And he says everything. He says everything. All of his lines like it's a joke, even though,
Yep.
even when it's like just like stating the obvious, like, "Oh, you're gonna eat that." That's one of the jokes.
That is the delivery. That is the delivery of what he does. He does lines, and it is even more blatant because when he is actually on screen, he does do a better performance than
Yeah.
his voice acting.
Yeah,
Barely, but you notice it because it seems night and day.
yeah.
Like, he's not doing House of Cards
No.
style acting
Oh
here.
no.
But he is giving forth a pinch of effort.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's just... It looks like he's happy that he knows tomorrow he's going to sit in a booth.
Yeah.
That's like his style of acting going on.
Or in an hour from now, he's going to be playing a fuck ton of ping pong.
That's what it looks like. It looks like he's, hey, I'm happy to be at work because in an hour I'm going to be doing something other than this.
Yeah. Like when he's in person, he definitely acts like, there's like, even like when he's just being the voiceover for the cat, it's just like him being, I should have been a better father. That's it.
Yep, that's it. Great, Kevin, we got it.
Good, Kev. Do you need another one? No! Awesome! We got your voice. That's all we need.
Yep. Fucking A, man. Awful.
Also, okay. So we just dive right into the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a movie that's going to be aimed towards kids, what better way to draw them in than to talk about construction?
Yeah, right? Real estate.
Yeah. There's like a fucking 3-minute scene where you're sitting in on a meeting about a building. This is a kid's movie.
Yeah. It's over a kid's head, for sure.
Like, they're talking about, like, shit I didn't even understand or care about. And I'm an adult.
We haven't yet quite synopsized the movie. It's pretty easy to like just guess what happens.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey plays a billionaire. He's vying to build the tallest building in North America,
which is a thing. Like, you're going to have like a plaque made for you for building the tallest building in North America?
And so he's doing that. He's a dick. His board of directors want to do something else, sell the company because they want to have a huge payout, whatever. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and he's all like, no, I want the tallest building in North America.
Yeah. I don't want to fucking meddle with that Dubai shit.
Are you sure you want not the world? No.
Nah.
No, I just want the northern hemisphere. I want the part of the world that counts.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just a fucking. Everyone's like shit in a bucket. No, North America.
Yep, that's where it's at, baby.
That's where it's at.
And so anyway, so he's a dick. Forgets his like child's birthday, whatever. Ends up ends up falling off the building in which he is building, which is the highest in North America at this point.
Yeah.
Only to luckily catch his leg on like a tether or something, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And swings into the building, goes into a coma. For whatever reason, switches bodies with a cat.
Yeah. Which I guess is Christopher Walken's job.
Yeah.
He's just a guy that
it's funny that this isn't the first movie in which Christopher Walken has somebody fall off a building and turn into a cat person, because that's the plot of Batman Returns.
That's it. He turned Kevin Spacey into Catwoman.
It's the same shit. It's the same shit rehashed.
Also, like when did Christopher Walken just turn into like the fucking like the guy who's like, you gotta change your life?
Fucking A. He like played a mashup of Max Schreck from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
And the guy from like Click. I fucking forgot about Click. Yeah, that's it. And then I was going to say, like, also a mashup from the old guy from Gremlins. Who sells the kid Gremlins? Because he's got, like, gremlin cats. Who, from the end, spoilers, apparently are all dead people in cats. I can't tell. I don't know.
That does turn on its ear when he, like, walks in that shop for the first time. Everyone's staring at him like, get out of here, man. He's going to turn you into a fucking cat.
I don't know. Is he evil?
He just this movie makes it seem like all cats are empty vessels waiting to be inhabited by dick people.
Yeah. Ever wonder why cats are dicks? Because Chris Walken shoves you in a cat.
Christopher Walken's like, oh, you tried to fucking, you forgot your daughter's birthday? You're in a cat now.
Yep. Fuck it, you're in a cat.
Boom, you're in a cat.
speaking of cats talking, now we're on the subject.
Yeah.
There are points where, like, a cat in the movie will speak, but only to people who can understand them.
Yeah.
So, like, Kevin Spacey, when you see it from his point of view, will be talking as Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Or if, like, a cat is talking in the pet shop and somebody can understand him, you hear it as a person. But when it goes to another person's point of view and is hearing what they're saying, it is horrible, horrible cat noises. And that is a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever...
I think there's as much dialogue as there is shit cat noises in this movie.
I used to have 2 cats that were horny all the time. And they would howl. Like...
Yeah.
That is what the cats sound like, and that is 40% of the movie. It is unlistenable.
Yeah.
It made me want to fucking shut the movie off.
If there's like a scene where nothing's happening, then they just have Kevin Spacey cat just howling.
It is awful.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
really bad.
It will make you want to put the Q-tip in way too far.
Yeah. If I was Jennifer Garner's in this movie.
P.S.
If I were Jennifer Garner, I would have euthanized this cat day one.
The cat is a terror.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Kevin Spacey's in a cat. Gets taken home by the daughter, ends up doing horrible things.
Yeah.
And, like, there is no reason that a cat would come home and you would tear up your shit, piss everywhere, and you would keep it the next day. I don't think so. It's a grown cat. This is not a kitten.
Oh,
you
no,
would
Troy.
think this is an old fucking bladder problem cat. Needs to be put down.
Yeah. Well, think of the situation. They pick up this cat that's next to the dying body of their of her father/husband
Right.
in some weird wicker cage.
Yep.
They're like, oh, I guess this belongs to us. Which, how'd they know it was that? They just found, okay, so they found Kevin Spacey's body
Yeah.
after falling through a window, after falling like 20 stories
Right.
through a window.
Yes.
And then, so they find his dying corpse and a cat. And they're like, oh, I guess this cat's ours.
Guess we're gonna.
How do you
keep
know
it.
it's yours?
No frame of reference
Yeah.
where this cat came from.
They're just walking around with this shitty wicker cage with a cat in it. And it's like, hey, your dad bought you this cat. We need to keep it now.
You have no idea your dad bought this cat.
No!
At all.
He just had the cat. The cat was next to him.
It just happened to be in the same room as him
It
when he
coulda
became
belonged-
comatose.
Yeah, it could have belonged to a homeless man who found his way up to like the 77th floor of this monstrosity of a building.
Right.
Like, also, how much does this movie love sweeping shots going up and down buildings?
Several. I'm going to tell you at least 5.
Yeah. And some for no reason. It's just like zoom in on building and then shoot up building.
Yep.
Big
Yep.
sweeping shot up building.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck? God, whoever conceived this movie jerks off to like thinking about like crawling up buildings or something. It's awful. Barry Sonnenfeld directed this.
I wanted to bring this up. Thank you for mentioning it. Barry Sonnenfeld directed this. If you don't know that name, he directed the first Men in Black movie. Great movie. Amazing movie.
What the fuck happened to him?
Listen, it could have been noted that he also made Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West was better than this.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But maybe we should look up. No, we're not going to look it up because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was going to look up, maybe see his frame of work from Men in Black to this point, but it doesn't matter. This movie is garbage.
What the fuck is happening?
it's you know what is also weird? 2 times in this movie,
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey's in a cat,
Yeah.
and he's trying to do things in his office.
Kevin Spacey's still in the cat.
And at 2 points, it makes references to hating George W. Bush.
Yeah.
This movie was made in 2016. George W. Bush
Yeah.
has been out of office for almost a decade.
Yeah. This movie shits all over George W. Bush.
There was a point in this movie where I turned to you and asked, this was made in 2016, right? And you're like, yeah. Why are they pissing on George W. Bush? Because he accidentally shoots like a fountain pen.
Yeah, he shoots
on
a
his
fountain
face.
pen at it, and then it shoots blue ink all over his face.
And
It's a picture of Kevin Spacey and George W. Bush shaking hands.
Right.
And then the ink misses Kevin Spacey and just goes all over George W. Bush. And then there's like another scene where it was where he fucking drinks whiskey.
Oh, yeah, and the cap comes off the decanter.
Oh, by the way, a cat drinks whiskey in this. Or scotch.
Yeah. 50-year-old McLaren or whatever it is.
Yeah. Drinks 50-year-old scotch, and then when the cap flies off, it like smashes the portion of the picture that George W. Bush is in.
Right. That was the point where I turned to you and said,
This movie fucking hates Bush. And it's like, why do you need to fucking...
this is old news. This
Yeah.
is almost 10 years too late.
Yeah.
Far too late. Was this movie made like 10 years ago and just came out now?
I don't think so, because like Kevin Spacey doesn't look much younger than he does now.
I know it was made this year.
Yeah.
Or at least last year came out this year, but it doesn't make any sense. At this point in time,
Yeah.
Donald Trump should be in that picture instead of George W. Bush.
Like Photoshop him in or something.
What? Really?
Like
What?
Barry Sonnenfeld. I don't know what you have against George W. Bush. But that's like the equivalent of like your boss fired you, and then 10 years later you visit him in the nursing home and punch him in the face. It's like, why aren't you over it by now?
You had 10 years, man.
Yeah.
My God. It's weird. It's weird.
Like he waited for 9 lives to be like, oh, I'm going to get him.
Oh, I'm going to get you, man. 9 years too late.
Yeah. 9 years too late in 9 lives.
Okay, so a couple of dark points in this movie that we said that happened. There is a point that teases that Kevin Spacey's wife is cheating on him.
Yeah.
That turns out to be like a red herring.
Yeah. They also tease that his son's going to kill himself.
Right? I was going to lead up to that, but, we just jumped to it anyway. He was going to just jump anyways, because
Yeah.
he's going to jump off could be the tallest building in North America.
But it's off by 60 feet because of those bastards in Chicago. Like, is that really is that a thing where it's like, like, oh, it's not the tallest building? Well, then we're cutting our funding. Like, why are you? When did the race to being the tallest building in North America be so important?
It wasn't important since there was the last World's Fair.
Yeah.
Which would have been 80 years ago. Nobody cares
Like,
anymore.
who's gonna go to the skyscraper and be like, okay, so this isn't the tallest? All right, I'm not. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of here. Oh, it's off by 60 feet.
Oh, it's not even worth me killing myself over it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and give any kind of money to any business in the skyscraper, which is what skyscrapers are for, to put businesses in.
Yeah.
Not to be taller than anything in North America.
So anyway, that's a tease that his son is going to kill himself at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
By jumping off a building with his name on it.
Which, when they teased it, I was like, dude, you must have problems because you're killing yourself over a really dumb reason.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy's taking my dad's company. guess I better kill myself. What?
You know what? It was win-win for him because if he wins his argument that he has during this movie, he still wins on principle. And and his family owns 51% of the company.
Yeah.
If he loses, the payout for him being a majority stockholder is billions of dollars. There is no losing situation for this kid at all. None. In fact, it would be better if he lost.
I'm gonna kill myself though.
Bullshit.
But he doesn't kill himself. In fact, he just jumps off of it with a parachute just to do what?
To make a grand entrance.
Why? He jumped off a building, pulled a parachute, which, by the way, jumping off that building looked dangerous as fuck.
AF.
Because he was flying so close to, like, this fucking weird rebar.
Yes.
Like, no, you would not.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
So there's like on the building for the top 100 floors or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's the building and then kind of like a rebar.
Like a weird rebar scaffolding type thing.
That goes around the perimeter
Yeah.
that sticks out maybe 8 feet from the building.
Yeah.
So you have this little sleeve of area
that he's jumping down.
Yes. Head first to, quote, kill himself.
Yeah.
Which then you find out he has a parachute. This is also the denouement of the story in which Kevin Spacey has a change of heart by this point.
Yeah.
As a cat.
Yeah.
And jumps off the building to try to save him.
And guess what? This cat has no parachute.
No parachute whatsoever.
So you are watching as his son pulls a parachute and then the cat falls to its death.
Yes.
In, may I remind you, a kid's movie.
Yes. This real live cat, which you think Robbie Amell would reach out and grab.
He was close enough to it the whole fucking time.
Because let me remind you, it's a kid's movie. This cat does not get grabbed by Robbie Amell. Robbie Amell has both hands firmly placed on his parachute while the cat plummets headfirst to its grisly death, which you do not see, to be fair enough.
Yeah.
But it is in the middle of a press conference in which...
And no one cares.
Nobody cares. In fact, it's never brought up again. I don't get it. I don't understand. If it was magic? I don't know. If Chris Walken was magic.
Did the cat just disappear back into Kevin Spacey's body? I don't know.
I don't know. I would think it actually had to happen because as Kevin Spacey awoke suddenly from his coma, as the cat plummeted to its hot salsa-like death on the ground, he said, "Meow, that hurts."
That's right.
Not only was it a terrible pun, but he would have had to have died.
Yes, to feel that.
To feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, this fucking movie is hot garbage.
Oh, fuck. If there's maybe one thing that I liked about this movie. Only one.
What's your golden
And that's
goose?
the whole the storyline about the name of his company, like being, what was it, like Fire something? Firebrand. Because like through the whole movie they kind of bring up the question like, why didn't you just call it Brand? Because his last name is Brand. Why'd you call it Firebrand? And then like at the end you see that drawing that his son made where it was basically like a drawing of his dad as a superhero with Firebrand across his chest.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of a touching moment.
The most touching moment in the movie, I would say.
Yeah.
You know what? I would have to say the most touching moment is at Kevin Spacey as a cat.
Yeah.
stands up on his daughter's feet, and they dance in the pet shop to that video that she previously watched as she stood on his feet when on her MacBook Air Pro 7 or whatever it was.
Yeah. But that would have been a lot more touching if that song was not the most annoying fucking song
Yes.
in the history of the world.
True.
Like, what this? Like, we got 3 cats. Or like the 3 cats dancing. Or I don't know what the fuck it was like called.
Nope, that's it. You got 3 cats.
You got 3 cats dancing. 3 cats dancing. That's about like what the.
I have no idea what the
Why
song
would you
was.
even fucking dance? It's an awful fucking song.
Yep.
Like the minute they started playing it, once you like watch the video, I'm like, ugh. Like, I'm sorry, honey. You're gonna look back on that. Like, even if you're dealing with the fact that your dad is probably dead at that point, you're gonna watch that video again in like maybe 5 years and be like, that was an awful fucking song.
Fucking worst song.
I can't even watch this anymore. And my dad's dead.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad. Delete. Well, yeah, this I don't know. It was a good pick for a turkey episode.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Like, there was enough stuff in there where we can just rip it apart. Like, it was boring, but there was enough stuff in there where it was, you can rip real bad into this.
To say I didn't laugh at this movie is not true. Because I did, because some things were so bad that I laughed at.
There was a point in this movie where, like, you and me were both not paying attention, and we looked up because we thought it was Frozen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Forgot about that.
And it wasn't. It was just the dialogue ended, and they were staring at each other, and there was no sound.
No sound. Like, not even atmospheric sound.
No
there
music.
Was
yeah.
an absence of sound. And because we took notes for the show during the movie.
Yeah.
And we both did look up at one point to see if the movie was still going.
And it was.
It was still going. There was no sound.
No
and
sound.
And you said, like, oh shit, I thought the movie stopped. And I just erupted in laughter because I knew exactly what you were talking about. No sound.
There was none. Absolutely no sound.
A sound vacuum.
Yeah. He was even walking away, and there was no atmosphere, no, like, sound of him, like, of his shoes on the floor.
Nope.
Like, it was a dead, silent,
no score, nothing.
Just looking at each other.
And it seemed like it should have been somewhat of a dramatic point in the movie where, like, the, quote, villain kind of got one up on the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
You would think there'd be, like, a swelling of a score.
No.
Or anything.
Dead-ass silence.
Absence.
For, like, 10 to 20 seconds. To a point where I looked up thinking that the movie was Frozen, and then I was like, did the sound cut out? There was enough time for me to both think that the movie froze and the sound cut out until I realized, oh, it's the movie. This is part of the movie.
Because for you to be into writing notes and to hear no sound would take about 5 seconds to be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And for it to continue with still no sound is at least 10 seconds.
Yes.
10 seconds is a very long time.
Very long time.
With no sound.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god, this movie is so fucking awful. Oh, shit.
Also, the shit he does as a cat would raise so many red flags to a normal person. And then, like, Jennifer Garner, like, reacts to everything he does in this to,
That darn cat.
He unscrews a bottle of scotch and pours it into an ashtray to use as a bowl to drink scotch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jennifer Garner wakes up the next day, sees the cat is drunk after opening a bottle of scotch and goes, well, the cat's drunk.
Or what about when the cat tears up the yellow pages and makes a perfect little yellow brick road over to...
That's a line in the movie, too, by the way. It's like, she yells at her daughter, like, she says, like, I can't even remember the daughter's name, but she distinctly says the daughter's name, and then, your cat tore up the yellow pages.
Yep.
That's it.
The yellow pages must have sponsored this.
I know. Like
movie.
she was so adamant about how pissed she was that this cat tore up the yellow pages.
And not only did the cat do that, but it made a perfect path to the cat in which he tore out an ad for the Chris Walken pet store in which for her to visit.
Yeah.
That should have been an also blatant thing. It's like, there's something fucked up with this cat. For it to make a perfect path.
Yeah.
And to cut out this ad perfectly to be sitting on. Also, blatant product placement in this movie. Not only with that Apple MacBook Air, or whatever that chick was fucking reading on, but also Lexus had a blatant...
Oh, God.
So, like, Kevin Spacey, as he's driving furiously to this pet store before the whole shenanigans takes place in which he gets placed into a cat.
Yeah.
There is a shot of the Lexus logo as the spoiler on his car rises from like a compartment and he drives off into traffic, showing the Lexus logo again only about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Also, I think Post Cereal had sponsorship in this movie because he goes into the cupboard and eats Fruity Pebbles, and there's also blatantly Raisin Bran in there, labels prominently placed, also another fucking cereal. And I can imagine it had to be cereal because it's fucking shows aimed for kids.
That had to be how it made its money back.
Oh my god, this movie. Anything else you need to say about this movie before we start wrapping it up?
Man.
There's only so much to shit on.
Oh, well, there's that scene where, like, the fucking, like, the other daughter, like, the stepdaughter of, was, like, talking to, shitty hair daughter.
Yeah.
About, like, filming her, like, crying, watching her dad's video or something. And then, like, she was like, why did you film me? He was like, I was going to show it to the guys at school to get them all hot. And they're like 10 years old.
11.
11 years old. Like,
Wig Girl's birthday is in this movie. She turns 11.
Yeah. And like I guess the fucking other daughter is trying to get her laid.
Sick.
Yeah.
Gross. This is a kid's movie.
Yeah. Like the guys would find it super hot if they saw you crying. Like, what fetish bullshit school are you going to?
Sick. It is sick. JT, what would you score this movie? What would you give it a grade?
God, man. I'm gonna have to go with the fucking. Oh, I'm gonna have to go with an F. But it's a very entertainingly awful F.
So is it an F, and you would suggest people to watch it?
Like, only if you're really high or really drunk. Yeah.
Okay. I also give this movie an F. And I would say no. Under no circumstances should you watch this movie.
It's so... Just to see the shitty CG cat they put in there, too. Like, it's borderline. It looks like they put a figure from a video game in live action.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yep. And I would save your money, save your $4, and I would watch just the funny cat videos that you see at the beginning of the movie. They're all your favorites that you've seen on YouTube. Watch those movies instead. Watch those cat videos instead.
Go for it.
Do not watch this movie. Do not. I urge you, please. The PlayStation Network, oddly enough, has this movie at 4.5 out of 5 stars. Incomprehensible. I have no idea.
Granted, there's probably a whole lot of trolls that play on PlayStation, though. Where they're just like, yeah, let's rate this fucking thing.
Garbage. This movie is
Man.
garbage.
Unless you are either an architecture connoisseur or just love cats.
Even if you love cats. No.
Like, what were they fucking marketing towards with all, like, they had so much fucking architecture talk at the beginning.
It's not even at the beginning. Like, it's also in the middle.
Yeah.
And near the end.
One of the major plot points in this is about a fucking building, like an architecture like corporation.
Yes.
And kids are supposed to watch this.
Yes.
In between watching Kevin Spacey cat piss in purses, you're watching like deals go down about Wall Street and the stock market and board members.
I hope
Like
Kevin...
this is like the talking animal version of Star Wars Episode 1.
Holy shit. That's a pretty close analogy.
Yeah, like boring boardroom talk followed by a bathroom humor of like a cat shitting in a purse.
Yeah. That also happens. Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at Review Pod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that at Review Pod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcasts, Alexa devices, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.